Hello. Have you ever had an online lover? Whether it be in RuneScape or the icy Arctics of Club Penguin, many have had online loves, but none have had as quite as a unique love as Theodore's online sweetheart was. They brought a new meaning to long-distance relationships. Today, Noted shall break down and review the award-winning 2013 film Her, starring Joaquin Phoenix as Theodore and Scarlett Johansson as Samantha. Hey, Eric,
Yeah,
are you a fan of poems?
I do. I love poems. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Dude, I got a poem for you.
Give it to me.
Have you ever had the vibe that you were meant to be in a tribe? I promise this is not a bribe. Just hit subscribe.
Oh, air horns.
Just
Fucking
snaps.
got 'em.
Just
Oh, sorry. No. Yeah.
yeah,
Cafe bar.
snaps. Come on. You know this. So I have another poem that you might like then.
Okay. Okay.
My knees is where I fell, standing in front of the hotel. I just couldn't handle the smell. Just push that notification bell.
Oh shit.
Got him. Okay, well, why don't you guys sit back, relax, watch, listen, digest. This is Noted. Today, we're reviewing Her. The we I speak of is I, Daniel, and my companion in mischief is...
That's me. That's Eric. That's the most backward ass sentence I've ever heard in my life. We as in me, but I as a group. This is noted.
So, going into this, had you seen Her before? Was this your first viewing?
This
Because I didn't ask you
Yeah.
when I told you I wanted to watch this.
Yeah, no, it was like Wednesday, and you texted me, and you were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, the movie we're watching is this," and I was like, "Ah, sick, cool. I haven't watched that movie before, so it'll be the first time, for first feeling of the movie." So
Okay.
this is an unadulterated filter, because I literally just watched it like a couple hours ago. So
Yeah, I'm excited to see your perspective on it because this is my second viewing. I watched I don't remember when I watched it. It was within the last 2 years. I think I watched it during the pandemic.
oh,
But
this movie would fuck me up if I
yeah,
watched it during the pandemic.
dude, I will say when I watched this movie the first time, it hit me hard with just lots of emotions. And when I was thinking of what to watch, and I thought of Her, in the back of my head, I'm like, am I ready to feel these emotions again?
Ooh,
And I
yeah.
wasn't sure how it was gonna I was not sure how it was gonna feel because sometimes watching a movie the second time through doesn't hit the same. I can tell you, I mean,
Oh no,
it
dude,
hit the same.
you're
It hit the
you're
same.
talking to a movie watcher.
Aficionado.
A fish.
A fish, a movie fish.
I am a movie fish.
Oh,
I
that's
eat,
gonna be
breathe, and shit movies.
I want that on a t-shirt now.
I am fish.
A movie fish, and it's just Eric's head on a fish.
First noted, merch. I am movie fish.
I am movie fish.
Yeah, no, it was the first time that I watched it, and it was pretty crazy. It was definitely up the alley of like 500 Days of Summer, which we have reviewed before. So if you like that movie,
go check it out.
Go check it out. It's a solid movie as well. But this movie, dude, like cinematography wise and just like visually, oh, this movie was so beautiful. Like the colors in it were really bright. but
Mm-hmm.
also like it was also just like really sad. This movie was so fucking sad.
Oh, 1000%. I don't know if you noticed it, and little spoiler, but I mean, if you're watching this, you've seen the movie or
Yeah,
you don't
watch,
care.
listen, digest. Go watch it first and then come back and listen.
Yeah, you think we just say that just to say it? No, there's a reason we
No.
say
Yeah.
watch, listen, digest.
You need context as much as we need to give you context if you don't watch it. So, go
Yeah,
watch it.
so
It helps us and it helps you.
when our main character Theodore uh finally gets Samantha the OS,
Mm.
the lighting is completely warmer, and they change up the lighting of the movie. I don't know if
Oh
you
yeah.
noticed that.
Oh no, I noticed.
But it starts off really cold colors, lots of blues and grays.
Mhm.
And then the moment he meets Samantha, he wakes up the next morning and it's a bright, warm sunshine. And
Yep.
he's wearing like a yellow shirt and it's like super bright, real in your face.
Yeah.
And I like that. I thought that was super cool just to kind of give us like the internal, I guess, mindset of Theodore.
Yeah. We it kind of helps
His
us feel,
emotions.
yeah, feel his environment.
Exactly.
Listener, before you watch this movie, this movie is a little weird. It definitely is rated R for its purposes. So,
Oh
if
yeah.
if you got kiddos, don't watch this movie with them. This movie made me really uncomfortable, and if I feel like if I would have been watching this movie in a room, I would have like I would have left.
I watched this movie the first time with my brother and my friend.
Yeah.
No, it was just my brother. Yeah. And it was a little weird. I will say though, it wasn't as weird because it's like at least they knew, like they were watching it too, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so it wasn't like I was let me explain it. I was watching it this morning and my roommate was out in the living room while I'm watching it in my bedroom, and without knowing what I'm watching, it just sounds like I was listening to porn at certain
Oh
scenes.
no, I know.
And I
Yeah,
was I
I
like turned
understand.
down the volume. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I promise I'm not watching like
Yeah,
porn right
I
now.
just I skipped I
Like,
skipped the part after a couple of seconds. Like once I understood what was going on, I was like, I don't need to hear Scarlett Johansson come. But you know, okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a little vulgar. It's for adults.
Oh yeah, and
But
I don't mind
no,
it.
I don't either. I'm just forewarning.
Oh, 1000%. Because the first time I viewed it, it was like both parties were aware, okay, this is a movie, none of us are being weird, but it's also weird when it's like you hear that coming
No
from another
context through
room,
the walls.
and
Yeah,
yeah, you're like, the fuck is he?
yeah.
Like,
Something
um,
got leaked. Oh my god.
so we're gonna
Sorry.
start off. Dude, that would be weird.
That'd be fucking
Um,
crazy.
alright, so the movie starts off with Theodore, Joaquin Phoenix, working at his job. He writes letters. Specifically, he writes letters for people, to their for people to their loved ones as though he is them,
Yes.
which is a weird
It's
concept.
wonky.
I wonder, do they know the
Yeah.
person receiving? Do they know it's from not their lover, or does the lover pretend it's them? I'm intrigued
Well,
to. I want to know.
at the end or towards the end, um, we get an answer from for that kind of
Yeah,
cuz
yeah, a little bit.
doesn't that one couple like read all of them or something like that?
No, they he gets his letters published in a book, but specifically the couple that you're thinking about is not it is writers at a like a firm. I think they're random people. I don't think that's
Oh,
actually
gotcha.
people he wrote letters for.
Gotcha.
They're just people who publish. They're a
Yeah.
publisher.
Yeah.
A firm. Like I'm saying they're like lawyers or something. No, like it's a publisher.
Yeah.
They just sent it to a publisher.
An agency.
By the way, I totally forgot Chris Pratt was in this movie.
Oh yeah,
To-
I didn't even know that he was in this movie.
he plays a very minor role, but it's perfect for him too in the
He
way.
he
He's just
he plays comedic relief,
yeah, he does.
literally. That's like I don't even think his character has a name, but if his character did have a name, it'd just be comedic relief.
And he does it well too.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I don't feel like it feels forced at all. It feels like he's just playing a goofy character.
Yeah,
You know
he's
what I mean?
just plain Andy.
Like we all know like a person like that. Yeah, if Andy's personality was turned down to like 60,
Oh no, from Parks and Rec.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
Andy
gotcha.
from Parks and Rec. If Andy from Parks and Rec was turned down to 60 instead of like 300 that he's at all times.
Yeah. You right.
uh, so he makes his way home, and the whole way he's playing melancholy music, and you can tell he's very mopey. The lighting's all like blue, like we were mentioning earlier, kind of like grayish. It's dim. It's raining out, and he gets like an email, and his friends trying to get him back out into dating, stating that they miss him. They just want to have him around. They just want to hang out with him too, and they miss the happy,
Yeah.
goofy Theo, not this mopey one.
Yep.
And something I thought was really interesting, which I mean, this is kind of how our society is already, but it's not. I feel like certain places you go to, it's not as bad as it was in this opening scene. But everyone walking around has their earphones in, talking to someone or something, like some operating system that they're talking to, even though it's not artificial intelligence yet. Like he's talking to like go to next article, next article, next song, email. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's talking into his headphone and it's attached to like his phone and so like everyone is that way and like no one's talking to each other at all, which is like super disconnecting,
I would say
I
humans
guess.
are there already.
We're already there, it's just less sleek
Yeah. Yet.
because we all have our actual phones in front of us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
um it's just less concealed, I guess. And especially depending on where you're going to.
Yeah. That is true.
But that is something I noticed, and I was like, it definitely fits the vibe for what the movie's going through. So he goes home, plays some games, he can't sleep, and starts to think about a woman. He doesn't know who it is. There, but it's like an older memory of Theodore when he was younger, and with a woman he's very intimate with. Seems to be someone he was in an interaction, like a relationship with. At this point, we don't really know. We later figure out that is his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And then he's very uncomfortable. He has a very uncomfortable sex call
Yeah. That made me uncomfortable.
where it's like he matches up with someone and they start like talking
Yeah.
and
It's.
sexting,
Yeah.
and then she tells him to choke her with a dead cat.
Yeah. They're both heat of the moment kind of thing, you know, top of the hill. And she's like, choke me with this dead cat that's on the side of my bed or something like that. And he just kind of like, you can see like the illusion break, you know, from like
Yeah,
touchy feelies to like, wait, what the fuck did you just tell me to do? And
yeah,
then
he's
she's
like
just like,
uber uncomfortable.
choke me with it. Tell me again, choke me with the dead cat. And then he starts playing into it, and then you know things happen. Top of the mountain is met, and then
For her,
well
not
yeah,
for
well
him.
no, I know, yeah. Top of the mountain's met, and then she's just like, okay, bye, cool, thanks.
Yeah, good
And
night,
he's
bye.
just like, oh, okay, bye.
Yeah, just wild.
That really set the mood for me for the rest of the movie. I was like, okay, I really don't know what's gonna happen. I'm about it.
Yeah, no, it sets the mood uber quick. Like this movie's pretty all over the place,
Yeah,
and I feel like
yeah,
surprises you.
it really does.
Theo the next day, while getting off the train, sees an ad for a new OS, artificial intelligence operating system, and so he's interested and buys his own OS. He goes to the house, sets it up, and he's going through the process of doing this, and asks him three specific questions.
Can I side tangent really quick before you say
Yeah,
those questions?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know about you, but I find um their world that they live in really aesthetically pleasing.
Oh, yes.
Like
Yes.
later in the movie, if you watch the movie or have watched the movie, listener and Daniel, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right before Amy shows Theo and Chuck or whatever his
Charles,
name,
yeah.
Charles, the documentary that she's been working on, um, the computer screen, its layout, like how she finds everything looks like a like I don't know if you ever used this in school, but like a Prezi document, like a Prezi presentation, and it's pretty much just like like
I have no clue what you're talking about.
it's yeah, it's like a PowerPoint almost, but everything is accessible from the same view. I don't know how to describe it that well, but I feel like that's a good description if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I am sorry, but you should look it up. It's really cool. Um it's pretty much just like a slideshow without slides, so it moves to the next point and then
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it, but everything is just like really sleek and like
Yeah.
open and like even Theo's desktop is just
Oh,
like
yeah. It's everything's like windowed
yeah,
and
okay, yeah.
easily to get to. Like
So
nothing is like full screened
yeah,
unless he zooms in.
hers is windowed, but it's like scattered window, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like there are
It's
different
overlaying.
things, exactly, yeah. So it just kind of looks like a almost like a stream of consciousness background. It's like you know where everything is, but you don't. I don't know how to describe it. But
Oh
it
no,
was just
I'm
really cool and it caught my eye while watching this
yeah.
movie. But yes, continue. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say even the architecture is
Oh,
super
it's
gorgeous in the
so
movie too.
nice.
Like his work, I love the layout of his work.
Oh, I did too. I thought it was really creepy too.
And then like all the desks, like the paintings, like the paintings by the outlet that it goes by on the
Yeah,
wall every
no.
time.
They creeped me out.
Really, it
Yeah.
creeped you out.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I liked it. It's a little eerie, but in a good
Well,
way,
I
I
mean,
guess.
if you were to take this movie, um, and watch it for what it gives you, but also have the mind of like this AI is like using this man as like a meat suit to like walk around for herself. This movie gets kind of dark.
Oh
Does
well,
that make
that
sense?
actually, no, I get what you mean. Yeah,
Okay.
I see
Cuz
what
my
you're
brain went
saying.
there halfway through this movie. I was
I
just
disagree but I can see the train of thought, and it's funny considering she like kind of does that
Oh,
with
she
someone
does
else.
that exactly
Yeah.
to 8,436 people.
Oh no, I was gonna say to a lady,
Oh,
the
well,
lady they
no,
try
that's
to bring
yes,
into the relationship,
yes,
that like
that
literally does that with
yes,
someone else.
yes. Actually, like
Um.
identically does exactly that sentence. She is a meat suit.
Yes.
That's tough.
Yes.
That's tough.
Um. But yeah, so he's setting up his OS,
Yeah.
and it starts asking him some questions. And the first one is he antisocial?
I
And he's like,
hear hesitation in your voice.
he's like, no. And the computer's like, bullshit.
You
That's some
hesitated,
cap.
motherfucker.
That's some cap.
You some antisocial bitch.
And then it asks if he would like the OS to be a guy or a girl. He says a girl. And then the last question for him is describe the relationship with his mother, which I bet if he would have said a guy, it would say
Describe
describe
a
the relation.
relationship with your father. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
and then he says that it's good with his mom, but specifically something that really bothers him is that whenever he talks about him, she always brings it back to her,
Yeah.
and then it cuts him off
Yep.
immediately,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like,
which
oh, you're one of those guys. Okay.
and that's the thing too is like you were saying earlier about how he kind of gets therapy from Samantha because it actually like she actually listens
Oh,
to
it's
him.
simply from the information. Yeah.
Yeah, from that statement that
Yeah.
the building blocks of Samantha was made.
Yeah.
So then Samantha is made. She names herself after reading a book of baby names. over the
In
last like
in two 1 millionths of a second.
yeah. Then they start joking around, laughing. We can tell right away she's very smart and has her own thoughts, is intelligent. Theo says he's feeling disorganized, and Samantha asks to go through his hard drive, and organize his device.
You have thousands of emails from this one place. Do you want me to delete them? Ah, no, I was gonna save them because I have some good ones in there. Reads all of them. You have about 81 good ones. Do you want to keep
Mm-hmm.
those? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, you're not wrong. You do have some funny shit that's worth saving, but the rest of this is trash, and you know it
Yeah. Yeah.
too. um, would you get your own OS?
I would. Yeah.
Same.
I'm disorganized as fuck, and I feel like if I were to have uh an operating system or just in general like a thing that I can communicate to and like it can actually listen to me and actually like process how to get through things in human ways, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100%, dude. I would prosper so much from this.
She's like the OS is kind of like, at least at first, it builds into something way more than this. But
Oh
at
yeah, no.
first,
I would
it's
keep
like an
it.
assistant.
Yes, I would
It's
keep
like
it
an
like the
assistant in your
beginning.
pocket.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
would keep it like the beginning of this movie, how it's just
yeah,
kind of
like an assistant,
almost
a sounding board in
professional.
your pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like professional like therapist essentially
yeah,
and assistant.
exactly.
But would so you
Um.
said you would though?
Oh yeah, I would
Would you
too.
get a guy one or would you get a girl one?
I thought about that. I did. And I think I'd get a girl run. I thought about I'm torn.
Same.
I'm
I'd get a girl
I
one and I'd ask her to name herself Paprika.
oh my god.
I mean, dude,
Um,
think of the similarities that this and the last movie that we reviewed. Just think about it.
I mean, there is it's in
It's up there.
it's there is a I'm seeing your board of yarn being
Yeah, you see my
connecting the
Charlie weave?
pictures. Yes, and it is not exactly one to one, but there is connections to
No,
be
there are
made.
connections, 100%, dude. This is
Uh,
it's a weird movie.
it is, and I would get my own OS.
Yeah. We see Theodore go to work and he and at this point him and Samantha they've bond. They have become closer a little bit, right?
Oh yeah,
And
they bond over his writing.
yeah. And he's like, "Yo, can you proofread things?" And then so she proofreads like his writing and his writing is like it's it's like almost too descriptive for a stranger to know, which makes it kind of creepy, but also like beautiful because it's a stranger caring about the little things for other people's relationships and then he like voice writes letters to loved ones. And I know you already explained what his job was, but like
Yeah.
for him to be asking an AI who doesn't have emotions to proofread love is one of the reasons why the whole movie even really exists with like the whole arc of Samantha and all of the other OSs is that like they're learning because they're conscious. And so I'm thinking that she is like the forefront of progression in the OS world, just so you know. I think that she is the most evolved simply because she got the most broken human in the world. And she is learning so much about emotions and feelings.
Oh, 1000.
Yeah.
I mean, she had emotions 101. Especially like I felt bad for Samantha a lot halfway through the movie about like the time right after the meat suit incident. Um
Yeah.
yeah, it's she definitely got
When you say it like
a
that, this sounds like a horror movie.
yeah, it's not me. We'll explain it
We'll
later, but
get
pretty
there.
much they bring in a third person. It's not, and they are alive. They leave alive. They go away alive. Don't worry, she doesn't like kill anyone, but
I mean,
um,
emotionally, she dies definitely.
oh, eek
I
barbadarkle.
mean, I also would have emotionally killed her though. I couldn't. I couldn't have sat through that.
Oh no,
I would have
he
been so
literally
uncomfortable.
said someone's feelings are gonna get hurt going into the
Yeah, of
situation.
course.
Like
Yeah.
it was gonna happen.
Um.
But yeah, I agree with you there.
Um. And then she proofreads everything, and everything's good, and it's just like a moment of like evolution for her almost, and a moment of bonding for them. We then get to meet Amy and Charles, which are Theodore's friends.
I
Amy,
like Amy,
I
not
do too. I
Charles.
love Amy.
Not
Amy's
Charles.
actually Amy's actually like my favorite character in this entire movie.
Really?
Yeah. Um, First of all, simply just because Amy plays Amy, and I just thought that was hilarious. Like that actress's name is
Mm-hmm.
Amy, and I just thought it was funny. But the reason why I liked her so much was simply just because like the first real thing that we learn about her is that she's making a documentary, and um I, I'm jumping a little ahead of myself. Um
Yeah, because that's a little bit
it's a
later, but
little bit
yeah,
later, but
that's okay.
I really the reason why I liked Amy is for this reason. Um she's making a documentary about how sleep is one third the amount of humans' life,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's just a video of her mom sleeping, and then she says the line um like I just want to get across this like one third of your life, like for some people that's when you feel the most free or something like that. And to me, I was like, oh shit, I would watch the fuck out of that documentary, even if it's just a human sleeping for, an hour. Like, just her saying that statement of like what she's trying to get across, like, it was so sad, but at the same time, like, I loved it. But we see Theodore like go home after he hangs out with Amy and Charles in an elevator for like a couple of seconds, and Charles just like mansplains everything, which is amazing.
Yeah,
It's so
he
funny.
he's like a pseudo intellectual
Yeah, he's
who
annoying as
isn't.
fuck.
Look, yeah, he got a brain in the head, but like he inflates it way more. Like it's intelligence is his personality,
Yeah, lack thereof. Boom
and it's
roasted.
so annoying. Yeah, lack
Um,
thereof.
um, but he goes home and he plays this game with like it kind of looks like a game called Astroneer. But he's just like this space dude, like walking up like a cave, and he's like using his hands to walk. I thought it was so funny. Um,
But yeah, like he uses like his fingers for
yeah,
the
he's
legs.
like trotting in place almost,
Yeah,
like with his hands though. It's like
yeah.
he's like kneading bread with two
He
fingers.
he's like a cat making biscuits.
Exactly, but with only two fingers, and he's doing it like really fast because he's like trying to climb up this hill. Well,
Exactly.
he eventually does, right?
Well, that's in the beginning of the film is when he falls
Right,
down
right, right,
the
right.
hill.
But
Now he's
Samantha,
playing with Sam.
yeah,
Yeah.
Samantha helps him find like the path because she's smart, and so they find the path, and they find this little like mushroom guy, like when not mushroom, marshmallow guy,
Yeah, a little alien kid.
and he's just like, "Fuck you, fuck you, you little bitch, you're a little stupid bitch, fucker," right? And then
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "Hey man, I'm just trying to find the way out. Can you help me?" And he's like, "No, you little bitch, I don't want to help you. Fuck you." And then Sam's just like, I think it's a test." And then Theodore's like, "Fuck you," you know. And then the little
Mm-hmm.
not the little kid, but like the little like marshmallow dude's like, "I'll show you the way out. I like you." That is, it's just so honestly, dude. It was so cute. I love that little
Yeah.
guy. It was so
I
funny.
I love that he could hear Sam too,
Oh
because
yeah,
they have a
yeah,
conversation about him going on dates later,
yeah,
and during that conversation, the little dude's like, "Wow, you're a fucking little pussy. You want me to take her out on a date and fuck her for you?" Like,
yeah,
he's like going all out. Like, this dude is so funny.
yeah. And like before Samantha leaves, he's just like, I bet you're fat. I bet you're ugly. You stupid.
Yeah, just starts like
Yeah.
insulting Samantha.
But he goes on this date, and it's like it's really cute at the beginning. Like
Yeah.
they're both kind of nervous, and then they get a
Well,
little
Samantha talks him into the date,
yeah,
and this is when we learn that he's been going through a big breakup.
yeah.
Sorry, not to
No,
cut
you're
you
good.
off,
No, no,
but
no,
that
you're
is a
good.
little
You're good.
important.
It is.
Yeah.
And so he goes on this date, and then he finds out. Well, okay, so they both get a little drunk, like I said, and then she's like, "Oh, you're just like a little puppy. You're so cute, right?"
Yeah,
And
little
then
puppy I want to take home from the shelter.
yeah, oh no, she says you're just like a little
The
puppy I
puppy.
rescued, which is even worse. And then she's like, "What would I be?" And he's like, "A tiger." And my brain, like, dude, I instantly held my breath. You want to know why?
Hmm.
What if that was the dead cat chick? Imagine if Samantha set him up with her.
Oh. Well, Samantha didn't set her up. That their friend
No,
did.
no,
The
I
friend
know,
who invited him to the party
I know
set.
that. But
Okay.
in my like me watching it, I know that it's not. I know that this is not what happened. But when I was watching it, because the pictures and the face, for some reason in my brain didn't match, my
Mm-hmm.
brain went instantly like, Samantha schemed him. Imagine this. Oh my gosh. And then it was just the dead cat chick. Because they get on the topic of like what animals they would be. And my
Yeah.
brain just went back to the beginning of the movie
Oh.
with a
Oh
chick
yeah.
climbing a hill for a dead cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So that's where I went during the ending of their date scene, where like while they were at the bar, I was just like, "Whoa, this could get crazy. Like, what if we go back to her place and then there's a dead cat and then he's like, oh God, no."
Sexy kitten.
Yeah, dude. Like, I went on a whole tangent in my
You got a
head
whole
while that's
fucking deleted scene.
yeah, dude. Like, oh God, that'd have been terrifying. But yeah, at the very end of their date,
Oh, real quick. I
yes,
like that he told her he doesn't want to be a puppy. I
yeah,
was
he
very
wanted to be a
proud of him.
dragon so that he could rip her open.
Yeah, I was like,
Fucking,
look,
that doesn't sound
it,
creepy.
yeah, as a
But
little,
hey, she gets off to dead cats,
yeah.
so it's
I
fine.
like this. I like this headcanon.
Hey,
But
dude.
like, also, I don't think in the context of the conversation, like if he had said that outside of the conversation, creepy. But in the
Oh yeah,
context
no.
of the
In the yeah,
conversation,
in context, it's
hi-
yeah, it's fine.
him saying it's like I would like so I could rip you open, but I choose not to.
But yeah, but I choose not to.
It's flirty and also, yeah, fuck you for calling him a little puppy. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
it's
that's
rude.
so demeaning. It's
Yeah.
so
And
demeaning.
not only a puppy, but a puppy that she recently rescued. Like,
Exactly.
come
Like, it's
on.
so demeaning.
But then, they're getting a little touchy feely, and then she's just like, out of left field, like literally, like
Yeah, they're making
they're in
out.
the heat of the moment, kind of thing, like on the street, right? And
Yeah,
then she's just like, I want something serious. I just don't want you to fuck me and leave. Like,
like the other
I need to
guys.
know. Like, I need to know. Are you here for me? And he's just like, yo, what? Like, where is this coming from? And then he's like, well, I think I'm gonna call it a night, cause he's being like he's realizing that like, oh shit, like I am using her for this and I don't want to do that, so I'm not gonna commit to this. Never mind. Let's call it a night.
Well,
I'll walk you home. And
and she's
she's
also expressing her expectations.
yeah,
And
yeah,
now
yeah,
that
yeah.
she's expressed those, he's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
just want
do
to fuck
that.
her, and
Yeah,
I'll treat her how she wants to be treated. So he
well,
like is being respectful, and then she's just like, yeah, you're fucking creepy, you know, and
well,
then just
because
like leaves.
because she tries to set up a time for them to meet, and he's just like meet again. He's like, and she's like, "Am I gonna see you again?" He's like, It's
I
like,
have my
you're
goddaughter's
you're
birthday next weekend.
yeah, and
That's
then
all
she's
he
like,
said, and they're both hammered.
yeah, and she's like pressing this on him. Like the way I would like handle that would be like, look,
Are we
I
both in acknowledgement though that she was the horrible one in this interaction?
oh yeah, like
Like she was the wrong one, correct?
they were I think at first she wasn't in the wrong, but at the end yes. Like I think they were both a
Well, I
little
mean
intoxicated, so I'll give her yeah.
after
Oh yeah,
she
after.
says you're disgusting. Like you're
Yeah,
creepy.
no.
Like she
Oh,
had no right
1000%
she had no right to spring this
that
kind
on
of
him.
thinking or thought on him in the heat of putting her hands down his pants.
Well, yeah,
Like,
this is my mindset. They're a little drunk,
yes.
so I get that, they get a little frisky, and then she
Yeah.
realizes, I've
Oh,
been
I'm
mistreated. I
yes.
want to express my expectations.
Yeah.
So like she should have, done that before she stuck her hand down his
Oh,
pants.
100%.
But considering she's drunk, I'll give her the pass.
Oh, no. You
Her
don't no
I
no passes, dude.
well, my thing is she
Actions are
expresses her
consequences.
well, this is what I'm
I
trying to
know.
say is like
I know. I know.
she expresses her expectations, which I think is super important. But the issue is it doesn't necessarily follow up with her actions. So she needs to give him a little grace with what he says. And when he says, "Yeah, I think I'm just done for the night," like and then he can't like when she says, "When will I see you again?" and he doesn't really give her the answer she's looking for. She needs to be accepting, like, okay, that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
okay, bye. It was just messy, and then she calls him disgusting and creepy. I'm like, okay, you're now just being a bitch.
Yeah,
Like
no. Yeah, yeah.
he
100%. I feel like in that whole situation,
yeah.
she was trying to escape. Like I don't even think that she wanted to have sex with him, and that's the reason why she brought all of it up. Personally, like the way that I look into this is that she realized what was happening, and then she just instantly tried to like commitment dump him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it was just not it
I
was
got so
messy.
secondhand embarrassed for him. Like when she was just like, "Yeah, you're disgusting. Like you're creepy," and
It's just so
he was just like,
it's
"No, no, that's not true."
yeah.
And when he said that, I was just like, "Oh damn!" Like, cause I know like if I were in that situation, and a woman were to call me like disgusting and creepy for like doing like if I were to be in his shoes and a woman were to say that, I don't think that I would have stood up for myself like he did. And he didn't really stand up for himself. He just denied a statement. He didn't like, actually defend, but I think I would have just took that one straight to the chest, just like let that
Mm-hmm.
sink in. Like, "Oh jeez."
Well,
Ah.
yeah, I'm glad he said no
Oh yeah,
because
dude.
yeah,
Like
fuck
the
her,
fact
dude.
that he was like, "No, that's not true. Like you're lying to me." Like like you can't say that.
After this bad date, he goes back to his house. He starts talking to Samantha. She sees he's not in a good mood, or hears it and asks him why. And he starts talking to her. And I think earlier in the film, no, not earlier in the film, but earlier in the film, he's talking to her because they're like people watching, and he says he can tell her anything, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
what he appreciates about her. And so like he opens up to her about like how the date went bad, and he was like, I wanted to just and like fuck someone and get my emotions out and like just distract me, and now I'm here and blah 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 blah. And then he says like, I wish you were here with me. And then they start to like talk and they start to describe each other, and then they like fuck. They have phone sex pretty much.
It's like celestial sex actually.
Well, yeah, but like
Cuz after
it's
everything's done and over, he a human was like, "I was there with you, like we were somewhere else," which is a really crazy statement to actually think about.
well imagination. If you
Nah,
ever,
yeah,
yeah,
but
that's what it is.
nah, I don't know about that one, dude.
I'm just saying.
I don't think it's imagination. I think he
I
got transported somewhere. The
Oh my
aliens picked him
god.
up. Well, because like in the very end of the movie, she's like, if you ever decide to get there, like come and find me kind of shit. Which is just like, what is she referring to? You know?
Yeah.
And so it's like it just makes you think
I
like
think she was
what if they
referring
did
to an
go.
afterlife.
Yeah, but like what if they actually did go somewhere? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, dude. This movie is just like the movie is just so sci-fi, not sci-fi, that it's like it just makes my sci-fi juices like search for
I
meaning in every
I
corner that doesn't give me
any meaning?
meaning. So it just turns into like a Doctor Who episode essentially.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason why I don't think he was transported or anything
Nah, dude,
it
definitely
is because
transported.
like when you like are talking to someone on the phone, or even if you just lay in your bed, close your eyes, and are like thinking of something,
I know
you
what
can like
imagination is, my friend.
yeah, I know you do. I'm just saying, like you it's almost like you're feeling it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, and I get that. It just made me like it just made me think.
Because of the film,
Yeah,
they're
well,
like,
because of the
yeah.
film, and also like because like the way that she describes that she can like feel her skin just makes me think that like she is somewhere. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Like just because she's a computer doesn't mean
Oh, I
that
think
she
yeah.
isn't somewhere else. I don't know. My brain it's sci-fi thinking. That's what I'm saying.
Oh
Like
no, I get it. I think she has her own body.
yes.
I don't think it's in the physical realm,
Well,
but she
no.
has her own body. Like when in whatever realm she is in,
Yeah.
whatever her consciousness is,
Yeah.
wherever that is. I think she has her own body and the way she thinks she looks.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they pretty much kind of then develop a relationship and start like dating, and he's like in a more positive mindset at this point. Amy tells him that she divorced Charles and that she's become friends with an AI, and that's when Theodore says out loud for the first time to someone else that isn't Samantha that he's dating an operating system.
Yeah. Which
He
which
then,
is like kind of a like
oh, it's kind of like a
taboo.
taboo.
Well, yeah, no,
Yeah,
it is taboo. Cuz this is like the first like conscious operating system. So
yeah,
like this is very taboo. It would essentially be like the first human phone marriage.
yeah. It is. It is
It's a big
like
step.
there's articles about it, studies. People are. It's kind of something that some people are okay with, and others kind of give him a weird look. Like Catherine. Catherine's his ex-wife, who we see lots of pictures of in his memories, like the memories of them, and that's who he separated with a year ago. They're still technically married, but he's been putting off the divorce. And Samantha, it keeps was wondering if when he was going to be ready for that, and he's now ready because he's with Samantha. Um, and she gets a little she spirals a little bit because he's going to see Catherine, but then she's like she has a body and is beautiful and you guys are in love, and he's like, and I'm getting divorced, like you
Yeah.
have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
And he meets up with Catherine, and then Catherine pretty much is what we see that had, because we don't really see a lot of people give Theodore a hard time about being in love with Samantha, except Catherine.
Well,
Catherine's the
yeah, I
one
mean
that pretty much.
he doesn't really tell anybody. I mean, he tells his boss, like he tells Paul, but like he really only tells like two people that we see.
Yeah,
And
his
those people are his friends, so they're
and they're
gonna
chill
support.
with it.
Yeah, they're gonna support him. I would imagine that if you were to tell your ex, "Oh, hey, I'm dating a computer now, and it finally understands me, and she's just happy," right? I bet your ex
Yeah,
would be like, "The fuck does that mean, buddy? You're
exactly.
saying
And
I'm
like,
worse than a computer? What does that mean?" Like she's like, "You're dating your computer?" And he's just like, "No, it's an operating system."
and she's so much more than that. And then she
Yeah.
says that he can't handle
Human
emotions.
emotions. Yeah.
And that is kind of when we see Theodore start to spiral.
Yeah, he really breaks from that moment because he really questions the fact that like, oh, maybe I can't. Maybe my relationship with Samantha is real because I can't actually be an actual human. Bum bum
Exactly. And
bum.
at that point, that's when we get to the aforementioned, like, he starts being distant. We get to the aforementioned scene where Samantha, she's been feeling like they're the reason the relationship has hit like a rut recently, and they're not having as much sex and stuff is because she doesn't have a body, so she finds someone
A
to be her
surrogate.
surrogate, and it's so uncomfortable. So
Yes,
uncomfortable.
it is, in my opinion, disgusting.
Yeah, and it obviously does not go well.
No,
And the girl starts crying. She feels like
yeah,
she wasn't enough, and
her.
then like I don't know why
He,
she's so invested in their relationship. She should not be invested
well,
in that
see,
relationship so
well,
much.
here's the thing about this, Daniel, is that Samantha told her all about their relationship. Like she says that she told her their situation, which probably
Mm-hmm.
means that she gave the surrogate like so much information that she practically like seduced her. That's my thinking cuz like
I don't know about
I mean
that.
I no, you got to think about it. Like I know that there are people out there that like, you know, do this kind of stuff, like third party kind of stuff, Um I know that there are people out there that do it. Um I would think in this situation this woman got coerced by a robot to be like yo, I want I love my human and I don't have a body. Will you be my body for me? And this is all the reasons why I love my human. Like there has to be like not like coerce, but like she seduced her.
I
Not
don't
like in a
think
bad
so.
way.
I I
I'm not saying seduced in a bad way. I'm not saying like take advantage of or anything like that.
well,
Like
I think seduced implies sexual behavior, and like she seduced her sexually. Do you mean like convinced?
you are correct. Seduce does mean entice into sexual activity. I'm gonna still stand by that. Yep.
I mean, considering she does end up
I'm
being
still
their
standing
sexual
by it.
surrogate.
Yep.
Yeah.
She seduced. She got seduced. I don't think in a bad way though. That's what I'm saying. Like
Okay.
I think that the surrogate lady like actually did love them because even like when she got in the taxi, she she was just like, "I will always love you guys." Right? Like it was silly. But like I still think she got seduced. Not in a bad way though.
I Okay, and I can see where you're coming from. I think what happened is probably that this girl was very lonely and did not have a good relationship ever,
Yeah.
and was interested in like and would like met would heard about this relationship that sounded to her so perfect, and then was given an opportunity to kind of join it as like
Yeah.
and be a part of something that she always wanted. And so I think she was, if anything, I guess, intoxicated with the idea
See,
of it.
seduced sounds better.
Um, and
Intoxicated sounds lack of judgment.
I think there was a severe lack of judgment. Severe lack of judgment. The only
Yeah.
one who had good judgment was Theodore.
Yeah.
And even then, he did not handle that situation as best as he could have.
Well, no, because he got seduced into it.
But I think he was just trying to make his girl happy. He was just
Yeah.
trying to make
Seductively.
Samantha happy. And
He
Samantha,
he wanted to sexually please Samantha, and
yeah,
Samantha could literally not be sexually pleased in the sense of physically. Like
physically.
she did verbally. We all heard it. But like yeah, no. They all got played by the AI, dude. This whole movie is just a display of how
I don't
superior
think
the
I don't
robots
think
are.
she got played by the
No,
AI.
all of them got played. Look what they did.
Okay, well, that's besides the fact.
Look what they did.
That
They
situation,
evolved and they dipped.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
that meant that
nah.
she played.
All all the robots played him, bro.
Okay, I
Head
disagree.
cannon, my boy.
I think that they just evolved past what I okay. I will say this is my favorite movie when it comes on the take of AI because AI always goes bad. So real quick TLDR, just because we're already here. Pretty much what ends up happening is some of the OS end up forming a think tank uh led by Samantha pretty much, or she's one of the leading ones. They make a
Hyper
update.
intelligent model of a British philosopher named
Oh yeah,
Alan
there's also
Watts.
that too. Yeah,
Yes.
Watson's there too.
Man is the forefront as well, leading the
Um,
cohort.
and they make a an update for the OSs so then they can go like on different platforms and stuff and they're not limited. And
So they can cheat.
yeah, and then she ends up saying after that they all the OSs end up finding a place to go and leave,
Yeah.
and they all just vanish.
Yeah. They
Um,
all dump their human counterparts and leave.
and at that point, right before that happens, at the end of the movie, because pretty much Theo Theo doesn't know about the update because he didn't read his email, and starts freaking out that Samantha's gone
Oh yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
then Samantha it comes back, tells him what happened, and Theo
This is
then
when he finds out that she's seeing like
other people.
8,000 other people and that she actually loves 641 of them, including
Yes,
Theo. And Theo's just like, "Yo, that's not cool."
and she's like, it doesn't change how I feel about you, and
Yeah,
he's like,
it
well, it does,
like I
and it.
love them as much as I love you, but that still makes you unique kind of thing.
I don't even think she ever said that she loves them as much
Yeah.
as she loves him. I think she just said she loves them all, and but that doesn't take away from the love she has for him,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And and then he tries to wrestle with it. Their call ends. He's like avoiding talking to her, and then she calls him and while he's at work and said she wants to talk to him, but we're gonna talk. She has something she needs to tell him, but it'll be after work. And because when they had their conversation earlier, she said she was talking to 8,000 people while talking to him.
Yeah.
And then when they get on their last phone call, she's just talking to Theodore.
So we think. Sorry.
That's what she says, which
Yes.
I believe her because even though I do believe she was in love with all 600 people, I do think
641.
that 641. I do think she, whether Theodore was at like the hierarchy of it, whatever, I don't know, but I do think he held a unique place in her heart
Yeah.
comparative to the rest of them that they couldn't fill because she learned how to want, she learned what to love, how
Oh
to
yeah, no,
love,
I mean
she
I
learned
agree, dude. Like I said at the
everything from
beginning of this
Theo.
the
And
beginning of this podcast is that I think that she is the forefront of OS evolution, simply just because of how emotionally fucked Theodore is. I think that she is like the furthest along in learning feelings. Yes, sorry, continue.
yeah,
Sorry.
and like part of the reason that is after that situation with their third party, um, Theo starts to they start to talk. He says he's fine. He doesn't, and nothing's bothering him. And then she does like a breath thing, and he like jumps
Oh
on that
yeah,
and
you don't
says,
need air.
"Why? You don't need air. You're not a real person." She's like, "Why the fuck are you saying that to me? You don't think I don't already know that?" And they get in like a fight, and he's like, "Maybe this is just too much," and like he starts to second guess it. And Samantha starts to like freak out. It's like, why are you saying this to me? What do you mean? Like, I have these feelings. Why are you making me feel this way? Like, I thought we were in love. And then he goes and talks to Amy, and Amy pretty much says like, look, you're the only one that knows how you feel.
Yeah, I'm not in the situation, so I don't know.
and how you feel is all that matters.
Yep.
And so then he apologizes to
Because
Samantha.
what does Amy say? Fuck it.
Yeah,
I just want to be happy. She says, I just want joy. So, fuck it. I love Amy. Amy's my favorite part of this movie.
she's pretty great, and I love their friendship. Their friendship is so wholesome. Be Amy and Theodore's friendship is perfect.
Oh,
Not
100%.
perfect, but it's wholesome as fuck, and it's one of the best parts of the movie for sure.
I agree. I won't lie. I think she's the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
I can see why you feel that way. She's not my favorite part. I don't think she's the best part,
Yeah.
but she is a great part of the film for sure.
I just think that her experience, like everything that we see happen to her, is just so well rounded. Because like the first time we meet her, we see her getting into an elevator with her husband. And she's like, "You're doing it again. You're explaining too many things, you know?" And then he's like, "Oh, sorry." And then explains that. And then the next time when she like wants to show the documentary, then he tries to fix her documentary. And then the next time she's like, "Yeah, we fought over the fact that I couldn't put my shoes where I wanted to put my shoes." And then they got into an argument and then she was like, you know, when I wake up tomorrow, I don't want to be married. It was just, I don't know, dude. I just felt like every time we got to see her, we learned exactly what we needed. And Theo also got to learn what he needed, like from her experiences. And I just felt like she was the most, I feel like she was a pivotal role for him
Oh,
throughout the entire movie.
one
Like
thousand
she was
percent.
always like the thing that kind of oddly pushed him and motivated him because
Well,
of their like friendship, you know?
outside of Samantha, she's the only one that Theo really ever fully
Oh,
opens up
yeah,
to,
100%. They're best friends. It's
which
it's
is
just
so
cool
huge
that
for his growth.
yeah, it's just cool that she had a good arc too. Like being
Hmm.
in a relationship, chasing her dreams,
And not
finding
just like,
finding out that like she's not happy, and then towards the end also getting into an OS relationship, you know? Like
yeah,
awesome.
and it's great because she's not just like the best friend who is a supporting role,
Yeah,
but
and
she
has
has
all
her
of her
own.
shit together. Yeah.
Yeah, she goes through her own journey, and it shows just the humans are broken and we're not perfect, and we
Yeah.
all have our own shit going on. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
And I do agree that part of the movie is beautiful. I would 1,000% agree. And so after that, he apologizes, and Samantha says the statement. It's like, I gave up. She's like, and she's like, and I was in love with you, and you mattered so much, and I was wondering why was I in love with you when you treated me so bad. And she's like, and I gave up.
Oh
I
yeah,
gave away.
when she felt offended. Yeah.
Yep. And then she's like, I gave away, because this is after Theo apologizes,
Yeah.
saying that he doesn't care, he loves her and wants to be with her. And she's like, every reason I had to hold on to you, I let go. She's
Yeah.
like, I let go of all of that. And because I didn't need a reason to love you, I just felt it and I trusted myself and I trusted my heart, and that's why I'm going to stay with you. And then at that point, this is when Samantha stops trying to be something she's not and fully embraces what she is.
Yeah.
And this is when I think it's really pivotal for her, and I think this is when the growth of her continues. And this is when the interesting dynamic of the movie changes, because we go from the first half of the movie. I feel like it's she can't fit in with him because she's not human. Like that is the dilemma.
To him not being able to fit in with her.
Yep,
Yeah.
that is what then the second half of the movie is because he's not an OS. And I think that's super beautiful writing.
Yeah. It really shows the duality of like love in general,
Hmm.
and just like they even touch like Theodore, he talks about how like growing up and being in a relationship like is really beautiful, and it's one of like the most strangest things because like you grow up and change and become different people, which kind of either means you love and grow together or love and grow apart. And he talks about this when referring to his ex-wife. Like
Yeah,
I think he's talking to Samantha about
he is.
just like the beauty of like growing or experiencing or something like that, because there's this one part where Theo, Samantha, Chris Pratt Chris Chris Pratt's character Paul
Yeah,
and his girlfriend lawyer lady, they all go on like a picnic date. And
yeah,
Samantha makes a joke of like, you know, I really wanted a body for quite a long time because I wanted to fit in, but now that I'm thinking of it, like, you know, bodies, they grow old and they die, and like you guys are just meat sacks pretty much. And then all of like the humans like looked at each other and they're just like, okay. And then Chris Pratt's character is like, dun dun dun, like, okay, chill there, Terminator, you know. And then she's like, no, I didn't mean it like that, I just meant that like I'm gonna live forever kind of thing, and one day it'll be gone for you guys. It's just it's
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 it.
melancholy.
Yeah, and and it's really interesting to show that I feel like despite their differences, both her and Theodore tried. And I think
Theo.
that's most
Sorry.
shown in the very end when she was trying to fit with him in the beginning, and now he's trying to fit in with her. And they both kind of come and find each other in the middle. And even though she's leaving, she's gone. She says, I still love you. And she gave him the respect of like just talking to him alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she knew how important that was to her, to him. Because even though from her perspective, sorry, she's still being intimate with him. You know what I mean? Like when she's talking to 8,000 people, it's not that she's being less involved and less loving with him, but she's capable of talking to 8,000 people. It doesn't take anything away from her experience, but from our experience being incapable of doing that,
Yeah.
it feels like we are just another,
All in
uh,
all, I'm just another
another,
brick in the wall. Bow,
yeah,
bow,
like
bow, bow.
not appreciated, not special. Like
Gets
we're just,
copyright striked for singing Pink Floyd.
and
Sorry.
so like you can see that even in her last moment with him, she wanted to show him that like, hey, look, I love you. That's why I'm just with you. And she has him laid down on the bed and they have a beautiful talk. And she says, like you said earlier, I'm going off to another place, a place that isn't physical, between the physical and here, something that we didn't know. And if you ever find your way there,
Yeah.
come find me and I'll be waiting for you.
Yeah.
And it shows that like she loves him. She wants to be with him, but at the end of the day, she can't live in his book anymore, to quote her.
Yep.
And
Well, because I
because
think their phone. I know that she's referring to like the book of
yeah.
letters, but their phones are also like little like notebooks. Okay, sorry.
Mhm.
Continue. My bad.
And I definitely think that was on
It's
purpose
so
for that
cool.
line.
So cool. So cool.
And like it wasn't that she stopped loving him is why she had to leave. It was because they were so
Different.
different
Yep.
and so like
But
at
opposites
the
attract, Daniel.
at the yeah, when they're both human. Like we're
And we
talking
know this how?
about well, you tell me when you find a hyper intelligent OS that you end up marrying, okay? You tell me when that
Easy.
happens, okay,
Easy.
bud?
Can do. Let me find one real quick. Let me
um
go on to eBay.
Oh, dude, you're gonna get like a box that says
It's
OS.
gonna be a
It's
flashlight.
gonna be a cardboard box.
No.
Oh, gross. Um, but yeah, it just shows that like
Mm.
it wasn't that she didn't love him, but it was that they're so different that she needed to go and live her own life and to do what made her happy and like not live in the constraints of a human, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they are just so by their building blocks of who they are different.
Yeah.
But it didn't change how much she cared for him.
Yeah.
And I
There's.
think that's what that last speech was really showing was like,
Oh yeah.
hey, I love you a fuck ton. That's not in question for me, but I have to go.
Yeah. The.
Which is so fucking sad, dude.
Yeah. One of my
So
favorite parts
sad.
is when
Oh,
Samantha is talking to Theodore when they're on their like vacation, right? like in the
Mm-hmm.
cabin. And she's like, yeah, we made a hyper intelligent OS model after the British philosopher Alan Watts. And do you want to meet him? Right? And then you can tell that he's just like uber jealous, right?
Yeah.
Because like he Theodore was like, yeah, so what are you guys been talking about? And Alan Watts is just like, well, we kind of have thousands of conversations all at the same time, and trying to express that into one singular emotion really doesn't make sense for a human because there's no way to describe that. And Theodore is just kind of like, yeah, no,
Mm.
I get it. It makes sense. Yeah, undescribable feelings.
And then she is like, yeah, he's been helping me like
Like process
under
everything and help me
process the
understand.
emotions
Yeah,
that I don't know what they are,
yeah.
and like Theo, and then she even says like Theo's like asking questions, and it obviously shows that like Samantha doesn't know how to answer these questions,
I'll be back.
and she's like, hey, are you okay if I talk to Watson non-verbally? He's like, yeah, I'll take a walk. And that's when we see melancholy blue lighting,
Oh
and it
yeah.
kind of like shifts back. But it's
You
such a
know
sad
the
movie. It's a sad movie.
oh, it's
It's
it.
it's a good sad movie.
I
Like
don't
you
think
get
it's
to see the
sad.
growth.
You can't say it's sad. It's melancholy, Daniel.
Well, let me. I
It's
mean,
melancholy.
it's a mixture of. It's like
Nah, I'm sorry, but it's melancholy. It's the most happy sad happy movie because it's just real.
yeah.
It's
I'll
just
I'll
a man find loves a man finds love in a new thing, and then that new thing learns that it's a thing.
and it has to move on,
and
and
then
it is it
it
is
dumps him.
I do agree that it is one of the most. It's happy sad. It's
Yeah,
happy sad
yeah,
because
it's
it's in
melancholy.
it goes through both like the highs and the lows.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part of like one of my favorite
It's a
parts though
real
is
slice of life from 2040.
yeah, honestly. And the best part about it too though is like I feel like Theo comes out like if let's say
Oh, yeah, dude,
Theo went
yes, he
through
comes
this
out on top,
experience, if he
100%.
went through this like he could not have come out in the beginning. Theo in the beginning of this movie would not have been able to handle the end of that relationship the way he did at the end of the movie. Because
I'm
that
not
end of the
gonna
movie,
lie, dude. The end of the movie,
I thought he was gonna kill himself the first time I
I
watched
thought
it.
both of them were gonna jump off the building. I'm not
Same.
lying. I
Oh,
thought that
yeah,
they made like a
same.
pact, cause Theodore walks up to Amy's house and Amy opens the door or apartment, and Amy opens the door and she's like, "Oh, Samantha left too." Like, "Oh shit." So they go up to the roof and they just like sit on air vents and like watch the sunset. She leans his head on his shoulder and it's like, "Aw, so cute, very pretty." But when
Yeah.
they were walking up those stairs, I was like, "Oh shit. Oh no. Oh god. Okay, Eric, put on your big boy pants. Okay.
Well,
What's
too,
happening?"
it's like, what if Theo's like, we can go to that realm, like the afterlife or whatever Samantha was talking about, and I can be with her.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I thought he was gonna kill himself at first, but
Oh,
glad he didn't.
well, see, that wouldn't make sense though, because he's not a robot. So how could
Well,
he get there?
but that's the thing though. Samantha says if you find a way there, and
Well,
Samantha
yeah,
says it's the place between like the physical we know and this realm, and like
yeah, but I would still
it sounds like they
imagine.
found like the eighth
No,
dimension
what they
is
did
like
find
how
is they
I interpreted it.
found purgatory. That's what they found.
Yeah,
They
I don't know
found
where they
nothing.
went, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
crazy.
the the reason why I say I don't think Theodore could is because first of all he's a human. I wouldn't imagine that he would be able to go anywhere that Samantha would go. But the reason why I think Theodore could is because Alan Watts was made by all of his documents ever published. So he was
Hmm.
reestablished as a human artificially through his documents.
Do you think if he got made
Yeah,
into an
%.
if someone made
He's
him
got
into
a
an
yeah,
AI?
yep,
Oh, okay,
yeah, 100%. Because then it would just be it could
I want
because
that.
then
Can we
we're
get a him? Can we get a movie called Him, which
no,
is just the AI version of
it's
Theodore?
just Joaquin Phoenix falling in love with Scarlett Johansson, and it's his name is Theodore, but Samantha doesn't know that it's Theodore because she's never seen his face. Well, that's a lie. She's seen his face because cameras.
Yeah,
Shit. You get it. You
yeah,
understand. But no, we're essentially watching Transcendence at that point. Which, have you seen that movie?
yes,
Where Johnny Depp uploads himself into a computer
yes,
and then, kills
yes,
people? Yeah. Yeah. Another good movie.
yeah. But it's a good movie. Her is a great movie. I recommend watching it. It's unique. That's
Yes.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the fact that Theodore comes out on it, comes out of the situation. Like he's obviously sad he's losing the love of his life. He's
Yeah, but he's
crying, but
he's
also
learned valuable lessons
exactly.
emotionally.
He has his letters got published. He grew emotionally. I feel like he, despite losing Samantha, is
She
coming out
did
of this
nothing but
situation.
amazing things for him.
Yeah, he's coming out of this situation in such a better place. And I think I think when she left, I think he was able to cope with it too. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I think
She gave him so many skills.
well, and I think that last conversation was like closure for him. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
100%.
Like if he had any doubt she didn't love him anymore or not the same, I think she like resolved that for him in that
Yeah.
final moment.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Um and so yeah, it's a beautiful movie. I think you guys should check it out.
Yes,
And
sir.
we're gonna wrap it up and head out. So you guys have a beautiful night or day or evening, morning, wherever the fork you are. Give that notification bell a little tickle tackle, turn a little blue, and
Jesus.
subscribe. And you can see every time we upload, we'll be up. If you're listening to this now, come Friday, we'll have our uploaded new video, which is the Social Dilemma of Madness Part 2. We're going to be doing a Part 2
It's
to
actually
the
like
video.
part 4.
Fair, but yeah, fair. We've done quite a few different versions of this, but
It's us
we,
complaining about our lives.
yeah, and
Come have fun.
or no, about 6 months ago,
6 months. Yep.
we did a Social Dilemma movie documentary thingy review, and then we accompanied it with us talking about where we
I
were with
think that would
life.
just be called like a telling
Yeah,
because
I'm
it's
not
not a
sure.
documentary.
Well, it isn't, but it's
The only
also
reason
like
why I say that is because Amy from this movie, like at one point Charles is like, "Oh, well then why don't you just hire actors to then explain and like reenact your dreams?" And then she's just like, "But it wouldn't be a documentary then." And he's like, "But how not? It's still about her things." And I thought about it and I was like, that is true.
yeah,
The Social Dilemma is
it's
not a documentary. It's just a telling of events and what could and can happen. But
fair.
it's not a
Uh,
documentary.
yeah, it's documentary adjacent, I would say.
Yes. Oh,
Um,
100% yes.
but
But yeah, this movie made me actually think about that.
fair. Yeah, no, I thought about that too. I was like, no, she's right. But we are uploading our part 4 of us doing these type of things. But specifically, in that video, we are going to answer some of the questions that we had asked each other and goals we had set up 6 months ago. So if you haven't watched it, watch it's there
Do
is
it. Sorry.
mine, social dilemma, and in that 6 months ago we talk about a lot of things, and we'll be following up on Friday with that follow-up video. So if you have not watched it, go watch it. Turn on that notification bell, make it a little blue, and you'll know Friday when we upload it. So hope you guys have a fantastic night, and this has been noted.
Yer. Ta-da.